What's up, guys? What a beautiful day. I walked in this morning and all I was able to see was the North Star. They were crisscrossing those chemtrails, making sure we don't get to see outside the system. And then again, are the chemtrails, if, IF, the 9th and the 6th letter, if, not IT, the 20th and the 9th letter, IT, 29, 9/11. If there was a matrix above us, what would they be doing with it? Why would they be spreading the chemtrails? A, the sky might fall down on you. When the sky falls, there's only one way for it to come, because there's a secondary matrix up there for the reason of the earth. Not only does the evil use it, but everybody gets to use it. When I say the skies might fall, if you take away that energy that's holding up the sky, the water in the sky, the energy, the electricity, it comes down on our heads, and they can read us by number. You have a SIM card? Well, they can read you. They know your number. And in fact, my SIM card starts with 254, and that's 9/11, September 11th. In fact, my whole SIM card explains 9/11, Barack Obama, and Hoover Dam. I'm not going to tell you my numbers, but maybe I'll be able to come out one day and show you it's something else. But the one spirit, the one number that goes between 254, the next two numbers add up to 44 Barack Obama when added and doubled. The last part extends the birth of 63 of the two worlds. 2, 6, and 3 is one day before the last moon of the year. 263 is 14 away, which is half a Rubik's Cube, the center of the Rubik's Cube. It's not that it's half, you can double it, but it's the 14th. And then you go 1, 2, 3 all the way to 13, and then you go 14, and then 14 down, 13 back to 1 again. And if you turn the Rubik's Cube on this angle, we make the North Star, and then follow the rodent numbers. The rodent numbers. What a perfect name this guy has. Rodent numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at them and you can't figure anything out, yet they're all in order. Mark Rodin's numbers. He made the mark. The mark is the seal. The seal is the stamp. Now that he has a stamp, now we got to do is build a snowflake. Because we might be at the perfect area where we want, but now we got to make the traffic move. So that's, if you guys know him, I mean, I'm happy that somehow I was introduced just to his videos, and it's fantastic because it's like almost like saying, beam me up, Spock. Give me a little bit more information. Show me what somebody else is doing with numbers. Show me that they know the truth. And then I just take their truth and believe it and use it. If it doesn't work out, well, I can't do it. If it worked out for him, it doesn't work out for me. It's my fault. Don't forget the North Star. If you really look at your screen, all screens are measured on an angle. Screening me? Are you screening me? The screen's on an angle. Although you'll be able to see through my squares, the minute I put my squares on this angle, now you got the thickness of the square of the passage of the eye now to see. Do you ever see the phoenix bird? If I pull this far away enough, you'll think it is because of this. What this is one house at Jack. There's one in the center, and there's one over here. You must put 3 of them. There must be a 1 in the center to the same as on the one side to the same on the other side. Although in Roman numerals, okay, well, we're not looking at the M. We're not looking at the sigma of the house. I'm not going to tell you it's a cat and it turns into the Magen David. I can tell you this is the Middle East. Why, if it looks so much like this, I couldn't do 2 of them over here? I closed one hole because there's only one life living. It's mine. In his side, this U is all the way to his side. But in my side, this is what it's like. C and C. The seas of shining seas. You ever put together, see this? Whatever angle you want to put it on, okay? The 2 eyes of beta are watching you. You see the D in here? B and D. It's the ready for the bed. Why? Because the minute you get to the center and put her all around, this is the center, E. In Monopoly, it's trickery. Do you know that we can switch Mediterranean for Baltic and Baltic for Mediterranean? You know how you do it? Either look in the mirror or just turn around. The middle of everything, we have to divide it and take whatever was in the middle, on the middle before, and you split that apart in half. The minute you want to split anything in 4 quarters or 4 parts of an X, which an X looks like this. X, just follow the lines, and X, if you want to say 2 butterflies. X and X, 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, and 12, the V, because I told you, there's no 1 in the center. You got to put the 1 in the center, 5, and you put the 1 in the center. D and D is 44. D and D is 44. The 45th president. Sorry, I have to put it this way. The 45th president. What is the 44th president? Playing from both sides. He's holding his own hand. He's getting the energy from up here. I'm going to put that energy up there and show you how it comes down. And it's almost like the roulette board. Okay, well, they don't show you all the figures, but I'm going to show you the way it works. And, okay, I think my design is okay. I cut it short over here. I'm supposed to go all the way up to here. I made a mistake. I shouldn't do that. And this, and this, and then this, and this, and this. Okay. Looks a little Egyptian, eh? Because there's only 1 eye in this one. Little Egyptian. All this is the 0 and 00 on top of roulette. See, now I got 2 eyes, and he's wearing a bow tie. I could have put the number a little bit closer. It would have said 2-3 creation with 2 eggs. 23, 2,300. 10, 10, 10. The reason I always tell you 2 and 1. The same on your calculator. There's 1 0 and a 00. Which one do you want to use? One of each? This is the split over here. When you make this split over here, it now adds in the 1. But this now looks like the Greek letter. Now we learn about the Greek letter. We know it's the English letter. Why? Well, what is it in Greek? Because don't forget, 500, 500, 500, 500 is 2,000. 2012. Why? Because it's this world over here. I just told you, 44. The 2 and 2 world, the 2, 2 and 2 worlds. 2, 2 and 2 worlds. 2 dice. 2, 2 and 2. 6, 6, 2012. Although we have, I mean, you can do it any way. You can say, well, where did I get this from? Well, if you take a look at it, okay, it says 1,000. It's the letter M before this line comes in. Don't forget, when you get the instructions, you take out the book. You look in the book, you open it up, and let's see what you see. Let's see what I see here. Well, it's in French and English. And you want to hear something? This is fucked up. This is so fantastic. What I just saw, the first page I opened up, I can lie to you all the time. I can tell you all kinds of bullshit because you know everything I say is really bullshit anyways. Nothing has a value until you decide that it has a value. You have to just listen and put it in a place. Where's the place? Let it go. When you believe, it automatically takes a place, then a coincidence, then an oh my God, and I can't believe it, not again, this is fantastic. That's how it turns in, by giving it the opportunity. Pretend you're not you. Pretend you're you, and pretend you're somebody else inside of you. Always ask that person, what do you think? What do you want to do? You want to lift your hand? Oh, fuck, I just asked you, and the hand's already up. Wow. Hey, did you see that? He put down his hand. Why'd you do that? You don't want to talk. You don't talk. You know what he just told me? I looked at him, he looked at me. Oh, there he is again. He's saying he talks with his pen. So every time I mark something, am I thinking at all? Try and write, and just write, choose a word, I am happy. Now write it without thinking of the word. Can you do it? 8 points means the H, 4 and 4, Barack Obama. 29.95. 299th day of the year. The middle of the day, we always counted at 12 o'clock, so we put the 5 at the end over here. 36 is a halfway point. Why? It's 50 cents. There's 72 times 5 degrees, making 360 around. $30.50, because it's a split world of 30-30 is 60. That would be game over in tennis. Wouldn't that be halfway, 15 and 15? Then they go and get the 10 points, and then they go to get the ad if it's not love at all. 45.95 is the next president. The reason for the next president is it's an it. 4 times 5 is 20. 5 plus 4 is 9. I-T, the word. If you say it twice, it's E-T. Okay, I-T. And the 4 is a D. It says idiot. Okay, but it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that at all. It just means you have a file folder for that information. That's all it means. You must open up file folders in your, wherever it is, however it works. However it works, we open up file folders. Okay, it's easy, but it's not simple. And it's simple, but it's not easy. First of all, you always have to see outside yourself. And I got stoned a few times to see outside myself. I didn't sleep for many nights to see outside myself. I remember being there. Oh my God, it was scary. I didn't know where it was. Now I want to be there and stay there. I want to stretch the elastic. Okay? The elastic is like this. The only thing I need is this over here at the end, the little nipple. That's all I need. Because that little nipple in me, we're maximizing our forces all the time as my salmon is running up the rapids through that tiny little piss sperm hole that's above my head, through the pineal gland and out through my neck. One of my friends, Al, okay, always had a problem. Oh, right here. Oh, it's right here. Well, fuck, of course. It's the split between the pineal gland and the light coming in. One goes to one side, the other goes to the other side. They cross each other. Holy fuck, you get crossed by your own spirit. They have to cross. One is going north, one is going south. If it wants to go up and down, it can go up and down by getting on the train. The North Star. I don't know exactly how the trains work, but I know the shapes and I know the numbers with Mark Rodin, and implementing the Rubik's Cube to it, cutting it up into pieces, splitting it up into smaller triangles, where we only take up the size of 4 spaces or 4 windows. The numbers, that North Star, it shows you that at the point of the letter N that creates that North Star, which is on an angle, if you want to look at it over here, it's supposed to cut all the way over to here and then come all the way up to here. I couldn't go straight in. But do you notice this? Did you see this at all? This is the letter H. See, hold on a second. Let me mark it down. Let me mark this down. I never used this marker before. Oh, I like it. It's a see-through marker. Wow. Must be at the C's, eh? Sure is. A little bit extra water, a little less color, just the right liquid to make the formation within my map and giving me the right color of destination. Oh, isn't color destination? Did you pick up your pen? No. I didn't pick up my pen. That wasn't my destination. My destination was to pick up the marker. So I picked it up. Destination number 2. Your thoughts. Can you pass me something? So the minute he says that, and I'm off subject right now, the minute he says that, can you pass something? I don't answer. He says it again. Can you pass something? And now at this point that I really do hear him, because it's once, twice, give him a chance. Maybe he wasn't listening. Just like when you write, if you don't say the words, you probably can't write it as well. And if you slow down and think as you go, you can probably make a nice story. The pen, the marker, the North Star, the nice story. $500, $500, $500, and $500. 2000. The letter Y is the 25th And it's also sometimes why is the 27th? Because it's in between things. 25 and 27 is a 26 average, 2013. Only need 13. 13 came in with the brain, okay? Hooks you up with the brain. You go up the hooked on phonics up here with these crazy birds. You run through the rest of these numbers in your chakras, whatever you want, and you come out on this side. 4 and 4, 44. 4, 4, and you're allowed 1, 4. You can take this 4, match it in the center, because it can't do anything unless you match this side, this, and this. This and this have to be matched, so whatever comes from here can go to here, but these three would have to be the same to start off as a maximize. 4, 4, 4. Now take away the number in pi away from 4, 4, 4, or the 333 is the 7 world to 444. Take 333 away from pi. Forget about the other numbers. Once you got 10 numbers, you got a minion in shul, don't you? That fills up all the gaps. Now you're starting to double up on some, and there's somebody on this side and that side, because when it all started, there were only 10 sides. And then there was God, but that was the first side that eliminated everything. God, the 1, and your birth 9, so 1 and 9 are gone. Then you came into the B world and the 8 heaven. 2 and 8 is 10. Now that's gone. You are creation, and you are from the 7th gate. Number 37, 3 by 37 is the Twin Towers. Each one times is equal to 222 with the roof story, because you need the story of the roof. It was the fiddler on the roof that was singing the story. Didn't you know? The fiddler, T, the fiddler on the roof. Eiffel Tower, oh my God. But this is OTAR, OTR, off-track racing. Just something like this is the way I work, okay? If you don't know me and I'm off track and I lose myself, get a pen, write it down. It starts to get more interesting. You got something to do now. Instead of taking 10 minutes for your bills, okay, the only bill you see moving is my mouth. But now your pen is writing down. And you can slow this shit. You can turn it off or slow me down or turn me off and never see me again. You have the advantage of everything right now because the book speaks. The book now has a mouth for it. The book can answer your questions and, at a good chance, implement them somewhere further into his mind, because otherwise we wouldn't have connected at all. So wherever we did connect, however it would be, that's going to be to the negative, to the positive. It will always be to the positive, because it gives another point in the value of everything else. The book that speaks. Not one book of 8 hours to read or 20 hours to read, that you got to flip through the pages. Flip through the pages. Oh my God. Why would we have to flip through the pages when we have the scrolls in the Torah? Don't you see? 2 zeros. The letter G. 2 zeros, and there's a 1 on it. But now we have to flip it up this way. We get 4 zeros. Every 0 is worth at least 1, 11, 21, and 31. But on the 31st 0, you up. You automatically, you jump into this world, but in all reality, getting out of jail and paying $50 sends you to Pennsylvania freedom. Pennsylvania freedom to one way and to the other way. If you go to the right from Pennsylvania freedom, all you have is 4 properties. And the properties, if I can remember, is St. James, Tennessee, New York, and Community Chest. After that, it's Kentucky from free parking. Kentucky, number 22, 21st row. Indiana, and then I think there's a red. Yes, red or blue, possibly blue, because it's in the red area. A blue chance in the red area, in the blue world, in the 2 worlds of the baby blue eyes of mother. But everybody knows, when the blue turns to yellow, your piss and your eyes, your blue, it's actually brown. And more power to you as you pumped out the cannon. Where else does everything come out? In a 5 hole. No, that'd be in the 8 hole. It's in the back. If it's in the back and this is in the front, you sure it's in the back and not in between? Maybe we're made all wrong. Maybe we're made crooked, we're actually like the monkeys. Or instead of the monkeys, I'd like to know what it looks like. Excuse me, but the rectum to the stomach to however it works from the monkey to the human being. I want to know how that line looks because that's what came up. Potassium. Potassium. So you saw we rolled these things up. You saw I showed you this book. Do you know what this is? He's got his 2 hands in the air. He's number 1. He's got his one eye on. He's got his shark over to one side and his shark over to the other side, and he's coming out of the center. These angles, okay, this is straight up and down. This one is 3 levels of the Rubik's Cube. When you pull yourself into the 4th level of the Rubik's Cube, it's the empty space. So the wire can do this, okay? So that's why the 7, when it comes like this, the 7 which will go all the way to here and all the way down here, it'll always bend a little bit. Just like on the bridges. They made the cables straight. They made the cables straight. They rolled them up. They unrolled them. And they put them in a U. Half U. Just about U. It's all about us anyways. So anyways, this are angles and time zones. I don't know the exact angle. All I can say is it goes from here to here. To me, that's 135 degrees. If you do it onto this side, it's 135 degrees again. 270, 1, 2, 3 parts, 273, 39 weeks, 7 days, and it's a pregnancy. Here's the hanger bringing in the child. The electronics hooks up first. You go A to D. A, B, C, D equals 10. 10% of your mind. A, B, C, D. In Monopoly to start, you're on 10% of your mind. A, B, C, D equals 10. Now you got Jack. But if you take a look at it, it looks like 2 gimbals back together if I would have widened this. See the hook? Part of the waterfall coming into the 2 worlds. One tunnel and here's another tunnel. The water will run off the sides here. The water will run off the sides here. This is the center world. This is 9. This is 11. On every corner, it's 9, 11. It has to be. Because you get here, it's number 9 coming in Monopoly. You hop over the other side of the corner, it's 11. Otherwise, you're in between the 2 worlds at 5. And if you hit another 5, and a 5, and a 5, and a 5, because unless this dice says 7, this dice will always say 5. The only way it says 7 is the 1. You see the 1 hole? Is it on this side? No. So you can add it. The 4, I'm going to turn it around to the 3. Which one is the only one missing? It was the one in the center. So forget about the other 2. So this dice would actually say 5, and this dice would actually say 5, and this dice would say 2. But this dice is actually the 7 card. Do I have the 7 card here? I'm all over the place, eh? I'm just so excited. I see a lot of things. I'm going to get back with the Rubik's Cube in a second. Wow, I got a 7 card, but look, they changed the cards on me. 7 loves, 7 loved. 77 loves. 77 is the number of the Christ. The question is, what is the Christ? You see the L at the same time, and if you put it like this, if you shorten up one of the sticks, hold on a second. If you shorten up one of the sticks, it actually sort of looks like a G. But it's a 7, it could be an L. It's also a number 1, because this is what number 1 looks like. That's it. It's a yod, it's the corner of tic-tac-toe. There is nothing else. It's a V. V and V equals 4. Why does it equal 4? Because there's 2 on this corner, 2 on this corner, 4. That closes in. This corner wouldn't be at this corner. It takes up all the way to here. It's on an angle. They meet on an angle. They meet on a slant. That's the way you weld, on a slant, on an angle. Everything's on an angle. It rains on an angle. We walk different because everything is on an angle and we all don't have the same matrix connection anyways, and it's not a lot of us. I mean, I'm talking like myself, being bipolar, that I walk on an angle to everybody else because everybody looks at me different. Does it have to be a real angle? The angle is because I'm different. Here's the 7 card. See how nice I made that 8 in there? The other moon is over here. Here's the Christ going from this moon, where his head is, down to where his feet are. He had connected himself to Mars, and he connected himself to Earth over here. Now, this over here is Mars, but this is not Earth. This is Saturn. This one over here is Uranus, which is controlled by Mercury. So Mercury and Uranus, okay, are part of the 8 world. So these 2 houses get closed down because they open up over here and they open up a new moon. More moons on Saturn and Jupiter than before, right? Keep increasing. I mean, they had to start with a minimum of 36 moons, right? 36 and 30. I'd like to know, because according to numbers, it would be 36 moons and 30 moons. The 29th is the birth. The 28th is the time heaven. The 27th is the 9 birth, and the 5 is 14 is the cross. The 13, it's the 13th. It has to start on the 13th. The 13th it has to start on, because that's the first 7 and 6 numbers of Rubik's Cube. 7 and 6 in baseball, 7th inning for both teams. 39, 3 by 13 in strikeouts for both teams, with a team still having 3 innings and 2 half innings for the other team, and vice versa is 55-55. That's a 7th inning stretch. This card is 2, 4, 6 total, and 1 is 7. But look at this. We're going to go 1 and 2. There's 2 of them. This one is worth 1. This one is worth 3. 1 and 3 is 4. This one is worth 7 is 11. This one is worth 9 is 20. This one is worth 5 is 25. I'm not going to count these 2 yet. Okay? But now when I turn it around, this one over here is 1 is 26. This one over here is 29. Boom! We now create a moon in number 8 because she's got 29, 9, 11. 29, 5 for this one is 34. 3 and 4 is 7. Boom! Right in the center. Boom. The other moon is there. So I went 29, 34, 7 is 41. First time, 360 degrees when you're going to complete, and you can land on the Mediterranean, the medication, the medieval of times. So we had over here 41, and this one's 9. We have 50. The total is 50. The card is 7, but we're not finished. Now, okay, no, I made it into an 8 now. Anyways, it's an 8 card. Now we have to go over 2 things. We have, what was the total? We had 50. Now we have this one back here again. Don't forget it's the 8 card. That's 5, 55. Okay, but in this scenario, it's a B letter because we're counting these 3 rows now. I'm not counting this one anymore. I'm starting here. So this one's a 2, makes it 52, and that's the Mayan number, 52, 50, and 2. 260 days, 260 my time. Tell me something in Mayan stories. Tell me what you know, because guess what? I know nothing. So I'm all prepared with an open ear to hear anything. And whatever you say, I will justify it. And if I can, I will just add it to the puzzle. Because this is building blocks. You need no information other than how your body works and the way you decide to think is the only way it goes. Pop goes the weasel. So anyways, this one makes it 52. This one is a 4, is 56. This one is a 6, is 62. This one is an 8, is 70. You now have this card totaling 70, and it's the 7. 70 equals 105. Why does 70 equal 105? Well, first of all, 105 is 10-5, which means you hit Reading Railroad, you went to the next corner visiting prisoners in jail, and then you went over to Omega, which was Pennsylvania, all with 105. Where was that 105 train, my friends? Because 4 times 105, or just 105, 105 is a total of 14 weeks. Is that what it is, or 15 weeks? Let me, hold on. 91 is a total of 13 weeks. 98 is 14 weeks. 105 is 15 weeks. 15 weeks, number 15, 15 weeks. 105 days. The ace to the 15 pool ball. 105. No, that would be 120. To the 14 pool ball. It would be 105. Ace to ace in poker. 105. Times 4 is 420. 42. Plus 90 is 510. We're into H and H now. Anyways, I know I mixed you up with that one. The other part I wanted to show you is this little thing here. This is Rubik's Cube. 3, 3, 3. That's the first cube. Space. 3, 3, 3. That's the second cube. My camera disappeared. Yeah, can I have a cigarette? No, I'm not smoking weed. I'm not what they call standardized, eh? Standardized, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, standard death. E.T. World. I'll tell you that in a minute if I remember. Oh, that's the North Star. This, you know what this does? This shows you a royal flush. Telling you guys who play poker, watch out for the king. Watch out for one of those kings. They're very suspicious in what chair you're sitting in because it doesn't have a K-I-N-G. K-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-I-N-G. They don't have the K. The royal flush starts with a flush royale. It's an R and an F. Royal Maitre, the flush, RMF. Oh, wait a fuck. RMF. 18, 13 is 31, and 6 is 37 times 3 is the top of the Twin Towers. Wow, those are the initials to my name. That's pretty good. Anyways, what we're going to do now that the screen is back on, is this one was A place, this one was B place. In between the 3 and 3 goes 4, 5, 6. It's in between the space. It always goes 4, 5, 6 in between this one. 10, 11, and 12 is the space number in roulette, equaling to 36, the halfway point. Then we bring it down to these 3 over here, and the numbers down here that total these 3, 3, 3 floors equal to 22, 23, 24. 69 and 36 is the 105 I just told you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have completed the row here 3, 3, 3, the row here 3, 3, 3, and the row here 3, 3, 3 without touching the 2 ends. That's the Twin Towers. Add the number of rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 either way because it's A to E. It's not E because E makes a 6. It's A to D. A and D makes a 5. Add 5 on for the dice. 110 floors. If you use the whole dice, it's 111 floors in the Twin Towers. Now you can start using these numbers if you want to use them. In your telephone, the 2 and 5 are above each other. 2 and 3 are next to each other. This is the other world, command and create of this world. This world, command and create of this world. I had a funny thing I thought of today. You know what that was? For every man born in the world, there's a duplicate born in Asia. They have to keep 2 of us alive somehow. I don't know why. Do you understand why? Because the other one has no spirit. We have the spirit. We communicate and we work together because they grew our DNAs together. They grow our DNA together. They figure the light is going to be the same. But if you're not born, like I got to look, I already found somebody and it's a woman and she's a psychologist and her name is Julie Zhang, okay? And she's born on the same day as me and the same year as me and the same time as me. And I got this name the same way I got the name Sylvie Charterelle or something. I'm not going to say the real name. The girl that was used. Listen to this. This is another one of my things. I might forget about what I just told you now. But the girl that was used as a decoy. What they did to her is they sent her from this side to this side to this side, made her walk across the gallery, make her go down and into only where few people know the way to Building 7. Once she went by that exit, she gets a phone call. We need you back upstairs. At this time, that's the signal for go. She knew nothing. She was only, but they use everything as decoy. Everything, every name of somebody's name says something else. When I see the number 4, I'm already thinking of the letter N, North America, because the first 10 are gone. So add 10 more. Going up a level each time. That's why we're always on that 45-degree angle, 22.5. This is your Rubik's Cube. This is the empty space between the Rubik's Cube. 4, 5, and 6. But when you want to really understand it to numbers, then you go to the roulette to understand it. 1, 2, 3 come away from the game, and 33, 34, 35, 36 come out of the game. 36 and 34 is 70. You want to see where you get 70? I put it backwards, eh? Don't you see what it is? It's the letter R. I just put a little rainbow in the center, but this is the letter R. At the same time, wow, I'm going to have to redraw that. You don't mind waiting a minute? You know what? Screw it. It's going to go in the next video. I'm starting another one right away. And I have to paint my floor besides that. Yeah, I forgot to show you the end of this. I forgot. Oh, and I didn't show you the other thing. I forgot. So you're halfway in, halfway out, but it doesn't matter. You listen to it, you forget about it. You listen to it again, you forget about it again. Now something starts to make sense. Did you take out your pen to start with and only write down what you got to need to write down for looking? The other thing I wanted to say is on the $20 bill, okay, there are ORs, O-A-R. On the $20 bill, OR, okay, is an A-R. It's O-A-R. Because the R in RAM and the M in M, it's Mir, Miran, Iran, the RAM. It says Mars backwards. The boat design talks about the boat design. I'm going to finish with this one before I get into the next one. See the R? And it goes all the way up. Looks like a knife cutting through the water. But this is an R. It also is a 9. There's letters in here. The other thing I saw in this is do you see this over here? Hold on. Do you see this over here? You see the little mouth? He's got a little eye. Okay? It's a hat. It's a hat, and there's a beak over here. These lines are matrix numbers, all going up. You know how they're going up? I'm going to show you how they go up. They go up like this. You see your hair over here? They go up like that, just like on the bridge. W, 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 V, W, D, W, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so I was going to show you the R. I'm all over the place. I don't like it. I'll show you the R. And here's the R. OL, if you want to take it. Number 27, the beta world of creation. Okay? It always has to say more than anything else. Whoop. And then it says 70. The 18th letter says 70. 18 and 70, 88. Grab my pen. '88. Now, this is a box. It's a house. You have to do something on it. So what are we going to do on this box? Your head is divided in 3 sides. Oh, Jesus Christ. What am I going to do now, eh? Maybe if we divide it properly and show you the whole equation. This equals 9. There's another one that's on top of this. Will equal 8. Because this one can only be done once. This one is eternal. The spirit light. Okay? So now it's 8 and 9. 8 and 9, or 8 and 9. 8 and 9, 17. 17 and 88, 105 like we had before. Now we have to go for the total. Now what would be the total? Is the number we would use. We would be using, there's 9 here, don't forget. But everybody gets this one. So they'll be using 5 and 5. So we'll add 5 to the 9 and 8. 5, 9, and 8, 17 equals 22. Busting out of jail. Blackjack, you bust at 22. 2 and 2 is 4. It's the V letter for life. You're busting out of one place and passing through all the Canada. You ever seen that pie says "Oh Canada" on it? Whole story in the first 10 numbers. But anyways, so now we got 88 and 22. 110. 110 floors on the Twin Towers. 70. And there's only 8 around. 4 and 4. We're not talking about the second one. We counted it here. We didn't talk about it here. We're going to talk about how it works here. So now you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So this side gets 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this side gets 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you total up the total over here, 6, 10, 6, 10. It totals 10. This one totals 6. This one totals 6. Makes the same 22 we had before. We're looking for the number 29 in here. Why? Well, 29 is 2. And this one over here. but this one is gone. So what goes between 1 and 1, or 3 and 3? 3 times 3, this is the angle of 9. 1 and 9 be the angle of 1 and 9. There is no 9. I put the 9 in the center, and 1, the 1 spirit of 9 is the birth jack right in the center. The total is 29. 88, 22, and 29. Wouldn't that be about the height of the antenna? No? Oh, why am I doing this? Because I like to play with the numbers. I mean, everybody knows, everybody talks about that it's all a hoax anyway, so what's the difference? Got to make something up, eh? Only the lonely will know. Only the lonely will go. Only the lonely. Now, the part that's missing here. Forget about this for now. But you see what I did to this? When you change it and you now read inside, okay, can you see the number? 5? I'll show you. It looks like a bent over dice. See the 5? See the way it looks like it's bent over on the top here, then it's flat? Well, if I go down one more row, over here, whoop, I'm going to have to over color it. If you go down one more row, the line, it's bent. You see the way it's bent? Up, and then it's back up. It's a 2, 5, 2. Or if you flip it over, 5, 2, 2, 5, inside the 7, which says the egg. The R is the flush royale. That, if you ever get and call yourself a king, you're a king of nothing. No one wants to be owned, so you have nothing, and all you own is your money, and you can do nothing with it, because once you have everything, you have nothing again, because now you're in search of something else you don't have, and there's nothing left, and you have it all, and nobody else does. Nobody even wants to play that game, because they're happy with what they have, because you've got too much, and they ain't going for $800 suppers. They're going to buy a $75 supper and sit home and eat it at home. They're going to go walk in the woods, because if they had enough money, they'd be planting trees, not buying things to throw it out, to cut the trees only to have place to build more stuff, to have more place for dumps. This was the part of the North Star. This is not supposed to be this angle. This angle should be down and up. The reason for that, I'm going to have, you see, it doesn't work. This, the only way it works is here. So the yud only works here. A yud, I don't know what that means, or v yud, 7 yud, I don't know, 7 yud, yud I think is the 10th letter, that would be 70 again. This is a corner, okay? Either it's 9/11 corner Monopoly, or it's a corner when you play tic-tac-toe. Where does it work the best? Yeah, it works the best here. It's in the 7 direction. But when you turn it this way, it looks like a gumball machine. And these are the 2 feet. These are a set of feet, and these are a set of feet. He's balancing on one heart, but he's got strong enough arms to stretch each way his tendons in order to make it work well. So you want to see the unbalanced balance of what the balance is not seen about is now he's got suspenders. Then what you do to it is you turn it upside down. Holding on in one ear, 3. Holding on in the other ear, 3. Having one eye in between and holding on to a spirit of the incoming. V, 22nd letter, V 22nd letter, V 22nd letter, X 24th letter, V and V. 1 life, 2 lives, 3 lives, 4 lives, 5 lives. 22 to each life, 5 by 22, 110th floor of the Twin Towers. Your one spirit makes it 111 the roof. Your birth waters coming in, which is 15 and 14, the creation of the birth waters. Creation 3, birth waters are 1415, the first 3 numbers, and the reason for the dot, because you have to stop at the line. The dot is a line. 3 dot equals to a line. Wait, creation, stop. Stop at the blue line or red line. So before they jump in, the N, number 14 in pi is the letter N, it's the cross Christ. Okay, so you have to carry the cross. So how do you carry the cross? When you're going into the water, you put on a parachute that slows you down in the water. You put it on, you're going down the water, you pull a little bit, you drag more water, you go on down. You're in a parachute, man, coming down into this world, and you look like a raindrop at the end. Hey, look at this raindrop. Oh, my God. In the wintertime, you become a snowflake, and you get to dance all the way down. You're not really wearing a parachute anymore, but you're wearing your father on your back because you were born in the fall when everything came down. But it hasn't happened in the fall. Oklahoma was it not in April? How many seasons went by on TV? What has been put on the air? What has taken off the air? What has been chosen first and last and worst and best? So 3.14 is N and O. O, the 15th letter, 1 and 5 is 6. That's off. It's O and off. It's on and off. 3.1415. Then you got 9, 2. Why? Because you jumped in. And when you're in number 9, you go all the way down to 1, 2. A 1, 2. 2 dice, 2 cubes, down 2 levels. 9, 2 is the next number. And what do you become? You become a whitewash. But because you came in on the rapids. 6 and 5 equals white. 6 and 5 is spirit, angel, and man. 1, 5, and 6 leaves out 2, 3, and 4, which is the sound between the walls. 2, 3, and 4 means that 5 is center to 6, 7, 8, in which 9 goes back to 6. So you see there's the first 4 parts, but 9, once you're born into this world, you go back to 6. And your communication, well, was never here anyways. So you'd automatically have a repeat of the 6, 9. So the parachute is your cross. I still have to do the North Star, the angles. This can be a cat at the same time. A cat is a 4. 2 cats, 4, 4. Barack Obama. Everything comes out to 88 at the end. See the way this looks a little bit different? 2 on this side, 2 on this side. But when I held it the other way, do you see? This looks like, this is not in the center. You see what it looks like the other way? The 2, and then it sort of looks in the center. You see? And when you're on this angle, it is in the center. This picks up on this side, goes all the way to this corner. This picks up on this side, goes all the way to this corner. Now this one here, okay, now can you see what it does inside? Do you see the fox? I wish it was clearer. Can you see the fox that's handcuffed? And you see the hanger over here? This is the top of the A. Then it goes down, and this is the A. I was going to put it on an angle, but this is the A. And this is just a separation, because just to see where the space is, right here. Now, if we have that, now I'm really going into a lot of stuff here, way too much, but anyways. Here's the North Star. This is what it has. It either is this. It can go out a little bit more. Just my design will be off. Okay. This is all equal to each other, except the distance is twice as long as just this short distance here. Yet it's the same amount of distance anyways. When you flip it up, it'll come out to here. Because we cut half boxes. They're all halves. Anyways, 77 north 14 core 5 core 37 equals 114. I don't know what this is. I didn't look it up yet, but that's what this is. It's actually two ones. If I stop it right here, it's a small one this way and a small one that way. But if I use the complete set of it, it's a 7. Because 7 is an equivalent to 1 and 6. This here is 9, 5, 1, 2, excuse me, 9, 5, 1. And then this one here is 4, 5, 6. And then this is 9, 5, 1. This is the exact North Star. It's, whatever I'm saying can't be different. Why? Because this is the Monopoly board. I just twisted it the other way. Remember the German star, how they twisted it? I put it back the way it should have been. They put two things on top of each other. You notice there's 2 spaces here. There will be 2 spaces here, 2 spaces here, 2 spaces here. 1 in all the corners. Because once you have 1, 3, 7, and 9, because 9 is automatically the birth, 1 is an automatic your life, you're living, it's the credit that you are, the creation, and the 5 passage of the world, which will be eternity and all the time, and that will get 4 spaces, 2 and 2, or 2 and 2. If I total the center of that star, 2, 8, and 5, okay, I can't tell you, but 2, 8, and 5 is the center of your telephone. 2 by 85 is the 17 matrix of 1776. It says in words, it's a game. If she is God, heaven, 6, face, heaven, fell. If I grow ahead, H and I is my birth. It says in this word here of the beta God, when I grow ahead, when I get ahead, but you never get ahead in this world. There's nobody ahead in this world. The only head is the head you have, and you don't need to have any other God than your own self. Your self-knowledge is the most important thing in the world. Because if you knew nothing, you'd be the Jedi. Jedi. I-D-I. ID me. I did. Judzi. Why is it Judzi? The U is 21. Okay? Once you have the I, that means you have the J. 19 in the 2 world making the 21. JK. It's the corner of 9, 10, and 11, but you're no longer 9, you're now 10 and 11. You're not 11 and 12 because that was your creation. You have to always stick to the corner. All the corners is your father except for that one of 72. I told you, this world, there should only be 288 days a year. And we have 365 days a year. And that's because we're feeding the earth. And we're feeding our minds. And then we're feeding the rest of them. Is there anything, and there was a lot more. What didn't I? Oh, here's another thing. Blackjack. Okay, one of the reasons for blackjack is because the J plays a role as 10 as the letter, and in the cards it's the 11th. So the J alone becomes the joker of the jack that creates his own die cube. And the letters of A, B, C, D, E, F totaled at G, 21 and 28. 21 and 28 is 48, equals 44, equals 88. Herbert Hoover, Hoover down, 31st president, 13 presidents later, Barack Obama going into his second term. I can't see him not winning. I mean, because it's really a joke. I mean, I can't see him not winning because if he doesn't win, then it's going to be really goofy. I mean, it will be just like watching Walt Disney if Barack Obama doesn't win. And if he does win, it would be just like watching Roots again. So whichever scenario you get, both of them are no good. So, well, not good for me. So, I mean, if you enjoy that, that's fine because he's a good-looking guy, you know. Good-looking guy, but I think he's wearing the wrong jacket. What does that mean? Right. Well, I don't think he's on the right side. I mean, but that's only my opinion. So so let me leave that out. Vendredi, which is Friday. Well, how did I get Jeudi or Jedi? Where am I? How did I get Jedi and game day? Because it's I play a game. Jeux in French, D is dice or D is game. It means roll the dice and play. I am Jack's ID. D is a 10 for a 10 in French. Dix, 4, 9 is 13, and X is 24, 37. It equals to 10. 37 and 39 now equal to 10, equaling to 76, or the spirit of 76, the French and the English together. That's pretty funny. French and English are together. I guess they're talking about Quebec, right? Because that's where we are. We are to the far east. So now when I take the two jacks together, it makes its own blackjack. Why? Because in order to get 11, the only way to get 11 is 1 penny. You have a 10 cents and a 1 penny is the only way to get 11. 11 equals 10 cents plus 1 cent, or X1. So you have to count your change now. What can we do with our change? How do I get 11? How do I get 12? How do I get 21? 2 10 cents and 1 penny. Splitting the spirit. So if you have Jack 4, Jack 2, Jack 4, Jack 6, Jack 8. Okay, these are the 2, 4, 6, 8 numbers on your telephone that we could put into theory if you want. I made one of the guide stones 2, 2, and 2 because that's the top row. 4, 4, and 4 because it's the middle row. 1 and 1 makes your 2. All you need is the 1 spirit. These ones here of the separations make the rest of them. The outside of the stone and the outside of the stone. That's why it's important to check how the stone is shaped right here and right here. What the markings are of the blank stone. And then at the bottom it's 888. 888 is Herbert Hoover, Barack Obama, Herbert Hoover, 31st president, 13 presidents later, to the 44th from the 43rd president, 44 from 43. It equals to 87, GH, God, heaven of 88, H and H, Herbert Hoover. 88, 4 by 22, 4 parts of the Twin Tower, 88. 22 is the 22 life, 110. The sky and the earth, 110 on the Twin Towers, the guide stones. This number, if you just want to add it, whatever we can do, this is 6, this is 4 is 10. This is 24, is 34, which means number 1. But if you look at this picture, you have 1 in here, 1 in here, and 1 in here. Then you have the line 1, then this line this line 1 is 2, this line 1 is 1, and this line. You have 2 here and 2 here is 4, 5, 6, and 7. You add 7 in here of 4, 4, and 4. You have to count the in-between lines because if I make it bigger, you're going to say, hey, you're taking up too much space. Well, I didn't know space mattered at all. But I guess it does when you're marking up blueprints and you need to know where everything's going. The numbers are always going to tell the story of creation. What else did I have here? I didn't even get to paint my floor. These can be the whiskers of the cat. 135. I'm trying to figure out what the angle is from here to here, but this is not the angle I want. I want this angle here. I got to figure out this angle here. This you will see inside the cap of Jack. You see the white pieces where his hat is Well, that's what it is. It's the same thing. You put two hats on top of each other. The same thing as these angles over here. One of them is straight back like this, while the other one's in between this one. So I got to figure out the degrees, but it's irrelevant because we know there's this and this on one side, this and this on the other side, and this and this in the center. I didn't put it, he doesn't have it perfect on his hat, but I have it perfect on square paper. Don't forget the cards are stretched out. Okay, Raphael, 7286. Wow, a minute and 5 seconds. I don't think anybody's ever going to watch this. And whoever watches this, all these tapes, he's definitely going to take a pen out otherwise. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Raphael, 7286. Before I finalize it with Mrs. and Mr. Tactans, thank you very much. In here, this is only a book. I bring numbers to reality inside a hypothetical, visional, whatever you want to call it. When it comes down to the boiling point, everything is supposed to work out in numbers. Whatever words I use is the words of choice that goes with numbers for the reasons that are also calculated. So I'm more or less taking out the reasons from the calculations where they belong. I don't say wrong when I say 1 and 6 equals 7. I don't say wrong when the seventh letter, okay, or the seventh position of Monopoly is Oriental. I don't say wrong when it's only 6 to get there, a spirit of 76 in the Oriental and reading. Philadelphia and Oriental. What's going on between them? Which Philadelphia is it? Is it the Philadelphia PHI down in Greece, where no one is telling the truth? Ha ha ha, we went bankrupt. But the two guys at the top couldn't give a shit because it's all a bigger story, right? I mean, truthfully, when a business doesn't go good, it's easy to handle it when it's not good for anybody else. And okay, yeah, so I didn't hurt anybody's feelings. There's no fighting. There's no fighting. If you're going to watch my stuff, don't fight. There's no arguing. There's only discussing. Where's the argument from? There's no I think and maybe and what happened. There is no what happened. Something happened that didn't go right. You have to run it by the numbers, my friends. And you can't leave them forever and ever and ever. But you can extend them and bend them and move them. But when you bend them and extend them and move them, they remember each other. And if you bend them and spend them and expand them, it will stretch out of shape. You'll have a fight. You won't be able to do something. And someone can get mad at you. You have to find a way to speak to them, to calm their nerves without telling them anything, to help them out without overexerting yourself because they're asking too much about you because you're allowed to say no. There's no hard feelings in no, you can't, but there's a lot of hard feelings in I'll try. I can't give you an answer right now. Let me think about it. It's the only way it can end. The only way it can end.